Hey guys, welcome back to the Yarnquisitions Podcast. I'm Celine, otherwise known as Celine, who's the last name. And I'm having coffee today because I need it. I'm just gonna take a sip. And I feel like it's been such a long time since I filmed, but it's only been a week. But yeah, a lot of things has happened since, and yeah, I'll talk about it throughout the video probably. And what else do I have to say? And I'm wearing the corselet tank fit check with my Thailand pants. And I think that's it for the intro. Oh yeah, and we do knitting, crochet, weaving sometimes, and I want to do spinning in the future, but the spinning wheel, the e-spinner that I want, is not in stock. So yeah, and I don't know whether to get the smaller one or the bigger one, because the bigger one I'm just like, you could do sweater quantity with. The smaller one I'm not 100% sure, because the bobbin, it doesn't say how much yarn or how many grams the bobbin holds for the smaller one, but the bigger one, it says that it can hold like 400 grams of yarn, I think it says online, which is like a ridiculous amount. Like, that's a lot of yarn. That's yes, that's sweater quantity for me for most items. I mean, for most sweaters, because I think the one that has the most, that used the most yarn for me is still the Jenny sweater. That's a ridiculous amount of yarn. 400 grams for the smallest size. That's crazy. Yeah. And I didn't know how crazy that is until I started knitting other sweaters that use a lot less, but has the same like ease. Yeah, it's just mostly the pattern. Like, even the cargo sweater is like so much less, like 400 to like 600 less meters. That's crazy. Well, I actually didn't use all of it, so maybe about the same. No, definitely not the same, because I used 3 full balls, but I didn't use 3 full balls for the cargo. So, I mean, of the same yarn, because I used finita yarn for both. Okay, onto the first project. So on Monday, I had to go look at that apartment, or the apartment that we're gonna move into, and I had to stay at a cafe or something. So I brought the Junta, and at the time I only had, well, you probably saw in the last episode, I only had the right, is it? No. Is this the one? Yeah, the right front done. I only had the right front done at the time, but I did the left front, and I still need to do like 1 or 2 inches on the strap, but other than that, I should be good to go for the strap part. But yeah, and then I'll have to move on to the back. So that's all my progress that I did on Monday. Like, I haven't touched it since Monday, so yeah. And this is knit on 2.5 millimeter needles. I'm keeping it in the petiteknit knitter's string bag. And yeah, I did have to tie the ends myself because I'm paranoid. And if you heard that sneeze, it was my cat. And yeah, it's actually kind of handy because it keeps it contained. And I also put in like a few extra notions just in case I would need it, but I didn't end up needing it. Okay, so that's one whip done. Yeah, no FOs just because they're all like big projects. And I've been procrastinating on like all of them. And this is my second whip, which is the Sporty Knit Skort by Handmade by Florence. I'm still in test knitting. It's not due until like October something or other. Like, I totally forgot the date already. But sometime in October, that's when it's due. And it should be released shortly after. And the cargo sweater is supposed to be released on the 30th of September. So yeah. So for the shorts, I had to continue knitting quite a bit. Basically from where this safety pin is, or yeah, that's how much I had to knit extra, just because my row gauge is super off. It's like 6 rows off, so that kind of affects how long your garment will be, and I totally didn't account for how it will be after blocking, but I just went up a size to account for my yarn. So yeah, so it just continued to decrease until I have the right amount of stitches for the next size up. And yeah, and then I had to continue to knit flat, or to knit without increases, so that I have the right length. Because I don't know if it's just me, but my distance from like the crotch to my waist is actually quite far, or at least where I want this skirt to sit is actually quite far, because I want it to sit right here. Okay, that's where I want it to sit, but then it would have sat down here where my pants are, without knitting extra. Yeah, or extra rows rather. And then when I tried it on, it was actually quite tight width wise, so that's why I went up the size. For the shorts, but I really didn't need to go I feel like it didn't need to go up a size for the individual leg, because my legs are like kind of skinny. I think at most it's like 17 to 18 inches in circumference, and this definitely fits that like relaxed. So yeah, definitely did not need to do that. But I'm also following the old pattern, so well, no, the new one also has the same numbers, so I don't know. Or the third version, the latest version of the pattern also has the same numbers as the previous version for the shorts. So yeah. I noticed that other people in the test group also said that it is, what do you call it? It is a little loose on them for the leg, or for the shorts in general. So that's probably because everyone has different leg sizes. So if you know your size, then just start decreasing on the legs or something, or just don't increase as much, and then just continue knitting in the round until you have the right length. Which I know is like kind of sucks, but I mean, you don't see the shorts anyways, so does it really matter? I mean, as long as there's not too much ease, I think, because you don't want it to like show through to the front. That's the issue with having too much fabric on the shorts. But yeah, I haven't started on the other leg because I've been procrastinating, okay? Yeah. I think for every step of the way for the shorts, I just kept procrastinating. Like, once I did the rib, I also had to rip back the rib because I did a 1x1 rib, but it's a 2x2. So yeah, that's just my bad. I didn't go back to the pattern and read it for the rib part, so yeah, I had to rip back. But it was kind of easy to rip back by just picking up the right leg of the stitches right before the rib part. So I mean, it's pretty easy to do. But yeah, I just need to do the other leg. And I don't know if I have enough yarn on these cones, because you can see like the cone already, so maybe I would have to break into my other cones of this yarn, because I bought enough yarn for like 2 projects, so yeah, it should be good. I mean, thankfully I bought a shit ton of this yarn in this color, so yeah. And if you really want it, or if you want a stash bust, you could definitely do the yarn in this one color in the skirt color, and then another color in the shorts color, or another color with the shorts. So it'd be like, so you would split, you'd have like 2 quantities, but I mean, or if you have 1 sweater quantity, then you can make the skirt. I don't know how it would look with like extras or leftover yarn, because each part is about 400 meters or 450. Well, it's 440, but yeah. It's kind of an odd number for a project. It's like not sweater quantity, but it's not exactly half of sweater quantity. And it's a lot more for like the larger sizes, because I think the skirt is much larger, so yeah. It might be more than sweater quantity for the larger sizes. Probably be, I mean, but I don't know if it's the shorts part that's taking up, but it shouldn't be, because that's less stitches. But yeah, the skirt really takes up, it gobbles up yarn, so be careful. My cat got surprised. Let's see. Okay. So for the Sycamore sweater, you know how I did a shit ton of swatches? Well, new yarn came in and I ended up just preferring the new yarn. So this is my swatch for the body, or for the main color. And it kind of matches my pinky, or like my thumb. Sorry, I haven't really can't really see it because of the glare. It's like really close in color to my nail polish, and I've been obsessed with this color, and that's why I can't take it off, and I just want to do other things and not repaint my nails. So yeah. And this is a combination of supersoft from rennie and ugie pearl, and then this strand is rennie's supersoft cashmere, so it's a cashmere blend. It's mostly lamb's wool, but it's much puffier or bigger in diameter than the supersoft. And this one is in powder blue, and then I have drops alpaca silk, brushed alpaca silk in morning mist. So my cat's going crazy. Yeah, she's just really excited. So yeah, I do like this combination the most, and it's like thin because of the brushed alpaca silk, but at the same time it fills in all the holes a little, so it meets gauge. Sorry, I'm so distracted by Miya. And this is the stripe or contrast color. It shows more blue on video, but it's much more white in person. But I think it's because the camera is just catching all the just all the blue alpaca fiber, and I don't know, can't really, yeah, it's definitely more white in person. Maybe the back, I don't know, it just, the camera just makes the alpaca much darker for some reason. Or like not much darker, but just like slightly darker. My cat's in the bathroom in a litter box, so please ignore that. So yeah, it's definitely more white in person. But maybe there's like, can you see the, yeah, this is more accurate for sure. Instead of the white one by itself. Yeah. And this one, I just like really like this one because it just reminds me of like the marble sweater, and especially Alexandra's Garn's marble sweater, where she is using like a worsted or Aran weight an Aran weight yarn that's in white. I think it's Aran weight, I don't know. And then like the fat mohair that she got in Copenhagen. I think it's called Sislerget. I mean, that's my guess on the pronunciation from the spelling. And that fat mohair is so nice with that white yarn combo. Like, and I think the white yarn she's using is like a Swedish yarn. I've never seen that brand before, so it must really only be in Europe or Sweden specifically. So yeah. And I don't know why all the yarns that I want is either in Canada or Europe. Like, what the heck? Like Gepard yarns are like usually only in Europe because I think it's based somewhere in Europe. It might be a Danish company. Like, why are they all Danish companies? Is it because of like way back then they like freaking colonized so many people or so many countries? I don't know. Probably. But also low-key, they need wool because it's so cold. Yeah, this is my Yellowstone mug. And I did talk about Yellowstone in an earlier episode, but I have no idea which one it was because it's been that long. The background should be in my bedroom, so it's not the couch. It's the one, it's just the darker room. Let's see. And yeah, main color. What's it called? The contrast? No, the stripe. She calls it the stripe. Color, the main color, and then the stripe color, but it's technically contrast. It doesn't matter. And for the contrast or the stripe, let me wipe my nose. Okay, is there's two whites. So one is Drops Flora White, and then the other one is Drops Flora, what's it called? No, it's not ash. Ooh, someone to put the tongue. White Fog, right. So it's white, drops floor in white, drops floor in white fog, and the brushed drops brushed alpaca silk. So in morning mist. So as you can tell, it's fog themed, or like, you know, wet weather themed. Yeah. This is like the sky color, and this is cloudy fog color. Okay. And my drops order came in. Shit, I forgot one yarn. I get it later. And I bought drops white because I needed another strand of white. Because I don't really have white besides white fog. But I didn't have enough yarn to hold this shit triple, because holding it double doesn't make it or doesn't make the cut. No. So when I swatched these two together, it got 20 stitches. But the rows were good, which is 25. It was like, how does that happen? I have no idea, don't ask me. So yeah, I got 20 stitches per 4 inches, and that's too many stitches, because it needs to be 18. So I had to triple it, but I also don't have enough. I might not have enough yarn to triple it. Even with the 2 balls of flora in white. And also because, I don't know, I just don't like it. Like it's nice. The color is nice, okay. But I like this combination way more, because if I hold the drops for a triple, then I would have to do 2 strands of the white fog and 1 strand of the white. But I think I would have to what do you call it? Like, there would be some left over, but I wouldn't know how to finagle it so I could have 3 strands, because I only have like 1 strand or 2 balls, but I would have to do like 2 strands from 1 ball, and that's a whole nother headache, especially because I really don't want to skein these or cake these up. They're already in these balls, so, or skeins, so why would I want to ruin that? And I can't get the center just because yarn barf is my worst enemy. Even though I can just undo it, I just really, really hate it. Yeah, and yeah, the 3 strands flora is just not my favorite combo when the main color is fluffy. Yeah. And I still have that swatch, it's just in the other room and I don't want to get it. But I might end up getting it later. This is what the color looks like for the brushed alpaca silk. I don't know why that name or that term, brushed alpaca silk, is so hard for me to remember or say, but yeah, Here we go. This is Morning Mist, and it's color. Oh no, I don't have the color number or the band with me, so I don't know the color number off the top of my head. I may or may not put an description if I already know the name of it, so that's just what's gonna happen. And just a little refresher of what the other yarns look like. This is the super soft cashmere. It's only 12% cashmere, but it does make for a fluffier yarn. Then the super soft ugie pearl, which is 100% lamb's wool. Yeah, you could do the other math for whatever percent lamb's wool this is, because this is, I think, 12.5 cashmere. Or 12.5% cashmere. Oh my gosh. Freaking. It's not even cold today, but my nose keeps running, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Let me put stuff back. Oh yeah, and I bought 10 of these because I wanted a sweater quantity, even though this pattern, or the Sycamore sweater, did I say what it was for? The Sycamore sweater by petiteknit is what do you call it? Only takes 7 balls of this, and this is 140 meters per ball, so, or at least that's how I calculate it as. So about 10, just to be on the safe side. And actually might sell the extras because I don't really wear beanies. I don't really make hats. And if I were to make a hat, it would just be a gift. But the person that I usually gift shit to does not like the fluffy stuff. Even though it's just a hat, you can just put it in the sink and then dry it somewhere. But she had a bad experience with mohair, so. But I also told her not to put it in the dryer. Okay. And it doesn't smell like much, so that's good. Please excuse me, I need another tissue. Okay. So yeah, this is gonna be my combo. And I feel like I would regret it just a little bit, but it's gonna have to make do. And if I regret it, I could just make another one without the brushed alpaca silk. So I'm gonna get that started soon because I already caked up everything. Everything's in order, and the needles I'm using is the 4.5 instead of the recommended 5mm needles because I just don't like that loose fabric, and because I want to size down. But the only way to size down is to make the gauge from 16 stitches to 18 stitches, and I think I mentioned this last time, but just in case you don't remember, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm doing this on 4.5, so I can get the recommended ease, which is 5 to 6 inches. So yeah, trying to finagle this pattern, and I'm assuming that X small in Europe is like actually small, but then it doesn't account for smaller people like me. So I find that a lot of her patterns are super oversized, more than what the pattern says. Yeah, I think the Ingrid, I double checked, and the Ingrid sweater is supposed to be like 8 inches of positive ease, but I think I got like 11. But I mean, thankfully, I wanted a really oversized sweater for that pattern, so it's not too big of a deal, for me at least. But yeah, sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm just like, wow, I'm drowning in the sweater. So that's not what I want for the Sycamore sweater, because it's more fitted than the Ingrid sweater. And it's gonna be my first time doing petiteknit's saddle shoulder design. I think that's what it is. If it's not, let me know. But yeah. And I'm also making another Ingrid sweater. This is the swatch that I did. Oh, you can't even see it, it's so dark. But yeah, this is the swatch that I did for it, just to see how open the eyelets will be, and how much I need to stretch it. I do need to stretch it quite a bit, but I'm thinking it will relax when I wash it. But yeah, it's definitely much thinner than what I used, because I used a worsted weight plus a mohair, when this pattern is DK plus a mohair. So I went up one size of yarn weight, but this is just the DK. And petiteknit also recommends one variation where you don't have to use the mohair or any lace weight with the DK. I don't know where she mentions it, but I'm sure she mentions it like in her Instagram somewhere. But yeah, I definitely won't be able to find that section again, because I think the Ingrid sweater baby or like junior also uses just the DK and not the mohair. So yeah, that means you can knit the bigger one in DK without the mohair. So yeah, and this is actually a gift knit. It's not for me. That's why it's like this color that I typically do not gravitate towards. I actually very much dislike this color. This is just like a teal, and it's mixed with greens and blues, or it's a mix of green, blue, and teal, but it's mostly teal. And this is Drop's Petrol mix. Is it Petrol? Well, it's color 701. So. Oh, and it's Drop's Lima. Did I say that? And because it's a mixed yarn, it's slightly more expensive than the lima lima unicolor. So yeah, I think the yarn for this costed like a little less than $30. So because of the sale. So yeah, and I just double checked to see like what's still available, and most of everything is sold out. So and this is my progress so far. This is just the back yoke or back piece. So I'm done with the double moss on the back, and I did the eyelets, which are much better looking than my swatch for some reason. And the next section is the mock cable section, so I didn't want to start that last night because I was like kind of tired and spent. So yeah. Wow, it just looks black from here. Yeah, the texture on this is less visible, but it looks way nicer for some reason. I don't know why. And because it's for my cousin, and she is like concerned that it'd be too warm, but I think it'd be fine because there's so much holes in this because there's no mohair to like cover the holes. Sorry for my nose, it's just what I'm dealing with. And yeah, and I still haven't used a complete ball of it, but I'm like almost at the end. So I might have to attach new yarn for the cable section, because the cable section, even though it's like kind of tiny for the yoke area, I mean, it does take up quite a bit of yarn just because there's so many rows. Yeah. And this is knit on 4 millimeters. Yeah, there's nothing else to say about that, I think. I mean, it's an Ingrid sweater, so. Okay. And the last one I want to show you is a project that I actually can't start yet until I finish the leg on the sporty knit skort, because they use the same millimeter needle, which is the 3.5, and this is the test knit for the kerr sweater. This is my swatch, but it always trips me out that for the swatch, even though you work it like from the bottom up, because it's a top-down sweater, you actually have to flip it on the other side to read it how it would read on the sweater. This is my like nth swatch, because I made like 2 or 3 other swatches but didn't work out, so I undid them, except for one other swatch. Should I just get it? Okay, I'll just get it. So just hold the horses. I mean, this is what happens when I'm too excited and I like start the podcast, but I'm like forgot some shit. Okay. So this is my proposed, I guess, colorwork. Can you see that? And I actually still really like this one just because it's so subtle. And you can still see like the triangle areas, but it's definitely not as clear, and you would have to look at it quite a bit to even see the design of the colorwork. And it only shows really well in certain lighting because the super soft lamb's wool in what is this color? Strawberry sherbet is more of a matte color, while the contrast that I used is a single ply, and it's merino, so it's soft, but at the same time it's shiny. It's much shinier than lamb's wool, so because of that you can see it when it reflects light more than the lamb's wool does, the super soft color. So I was like, maybe I can do this one, but I decided against it because I don't want to have to search for the design when I'm looking at it, because otherwise it would just be a stockinette design. Of course, with the added softness of the merino. The merino is also single ply, so that's why it's even shinier, because you can see like the fibers work together to give you that luster. But yeah, I think you can see the design a little bit, but in some areas the strawberry sherbet is actually lighter, or just as light as the color as a contrast, so it like disappears, like the what do you call it, the design like fades in and out. So yeah, that's definitely not the vibe that I want. So my plan B is the cashmere, or the super soft cashmere and powder blue, and the sock yarn, or I bought it for sock yarn, but it's the lopi einband. I think that's what it's called, lopi einband, in this navy-ish color, but it's more of like a muted navy, not a bright navy. And I don't like the smell of this. It's like, I don't know, just the smell is just not it. And this is in the shade color 118 or 0118. So, or 0118. Yeah, and this is the scratchiest yarn I've ever held in my hand. And I was gonna use it for sock yarn, or as sock yarn, because I know that this is like really durable. And other people have used einband for socks. I think I saw the petite knitter use this einband, but like in different colors, for her sheep socks, and those are so freaking cute. But I don't have any colors for that. I mean, I do have like a heather brown, taupe brown, like brown heather, in einband, but I don't have any white for it, or black, you know, so, because I want it to be all in einband for the sock, but yeah. And just a refresher, this is what it looks like together. Honestly, this almost looks like a black next to such a light color. And honestly, if this bleeds into the other color, I don't think I'd be mad, because it'll make the color work more subtle. But I mean, obviously you can still see it even if it does bleed, because it just definitely won't take as much of the color as the navy will. So yeah. And I got gauge. My nose. So I got gauge with 4mm on for the color work, and 3.5 for stockinette. And I think people are suggesting to do like a half millimeter down from your stockinette color for the rib. Not stockinette color, for the stockinette, 0.5mm down from your stockinette needle for the rib, and that's 3mm for me. But some people are like, they're doing color work at 4.5 and then doing the body or the stockinette at 4, and then they're, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. You know what, fuck it, I don't know. Yeah, everyone has their own needle size, I think. But Rebecca's needle size is 3.75 for color work, and then 3 points. Is that right? And 3.5 for, no, 3.25 for stockinette. I'm doing this based on memory, but I'm not completely sure. And I'm doubling the super soft cashmere because it's a 4-ply, and then this is the einband is also a 4-ply, so I'm doubling that as well. So basically, I'm doubling everything. Like her woolly knit sample is also in 4-ply. She doubled the woolly knit stuff. So yeah. And I think this is quite loose, but it's gonna have to do, because I did 3.5 for this swatch, and it does not meet gauge. It's like there's too many stitches for it. So yeah, I thought I could get away with 3.5, but nah, I can't. So 4mm it is for the color work, but because the color work is like at the bust, I won't have to do that for a while. But I can't even start it until I'm done with the 3.5mm needles for the sporty knit skort, because I also have another project, which is the Up and Glow sweater, and that uses 3.5mm needles at the start. So I can't start that one either, because I want to do like one long needle and one short needle, but my short needles are gone, or are being used for the sporty knit skort. So yeah, that's why. And then let's see. Oh, did I say I bought like 12 bottles of the petrol color? Because that's what I did. And I'm hoping that I would have enough for a little doggy sweater. And this is what I got that I'm not working with. It's the drop soft tweed mix, and this is color 12 in, I think it's called strawberry cream, strawberry something. And the content is 50% wool, 25% alpaca, and 25% viscose. And it is quite soft, and it's like a thin DK. I don't know if I would ever call it a sport weight yarn, but yeah, a thin DK. And I bought it to make a second sporty knit skort for after the test, and without the shorts, so it would just be the skirt part. But this is not the color that the pictures are online, because this is more of a magenta pink or like lavender pink. It's really not the pink I had imagined. There's nothing cream about this color. Wow, on camera it looks exactly like the alpaca silk that I got from Drops as well. I got all this stuff from like Wool Warehouse, all the Drop stuff from Wool Warehouse. But yeah, it looks exactly like the color I hate. So I can't use this. So I'm trying to sell it. I may or may not put this on my Instagram, but if you're in the typical club or typical Bliss's Discord, I put it on there. If you want to buy it off me, I don't know. I'm in the US, so yeah, it's the cheapest way to ship. And I'm selling it for $10.50 plus shipping, and shipping is $9 flat rate. Well, hopefully I can cram that in that flat rate package. So yeah, it's just not the color I was expecting. And even other people's I mean, there's one person who is using this exact color in the test knit, and hers definitely did not look like this. So I don't know if it's the batch I got, or if it really just does look like this. But yeah, I was hoping for a lighter color, and this color also doesn't match any of the other pink sweaters that I have, or pink tops that I have, so it's gonna have to go because it doesn't match anything. But I guess I could always make the second skirt out of the what's it called? The sherbet color, the strawberry sherbet color. I mean, I guess I could hold it double, but I don't know. If I would have enough yarn for that, because it requires like 450 meters, but I only have like, wait, is that 450? Pro Soho line weight? Then I might have enough for skirt. Yeah. I mean, that's just me thinking aloud. I'm like, oh, maybe I do have project for that. Because I also have a little bit of leftover from a separate skein of the ballet pink color from Pro Soho, which I just found out is also like discontinued, and that's why it was on sale. I'm like so heartbroken because that color is so good. But there's another pink, I think it's called like almond blossom or something or other. But then I'm like, holy shit, the freaking not on sale color or cost. The not on sale cost is like $23 for a skein. And even if you divide that by 2, and so you can get like 50 grams, it's still over $10. So that's kind of expensive, and I'm glad I got it on sale at $13 a skein. So yeah. And even at $13 a skein, it's still not as cheap as drops, but actually I don't even think it's as cheap as knitting for Olive, because I don't know why, but their merino is kind of cheap, and I'm like, how does that happen? Pro Soho is so expensive. But yeah. I think that's it. And did I say that this is Junta Light by petiteknit? Like, I don't know if I said that. If you watch till end, maybe I didn't say it. Oh gosh. Let me check the time for this. Ooh, 1 hour. Okay. I'm gonna stop it right here, and oh, I totally forgot to say that the apartment that we're moving to has no carpet, so if I film before we move all our furniture, it's gonna be echoey, like there's no way around it. And it's a much brighter apartment, thankfully, but we definitely don't have a view, because the other apartment that my boyfriend checked, he said that it would be loud because there's garage under it, and then there's people above us. I mean, there's people above us in the apartment we're moving to anyways, and it's also in like a nice area. I mean, this place is nice too, like this area that this apartment is in is nice, but I think over there it's like I think there's just less people, question mark, I don't really know. It's definitely not on any main road, because it's kind of like in a dead end area, so yeah, it should be much quieter, but we'll see. And this apartment complex actually has a pool and management on site, but the other one will not have those two things, which I'm like, I don't know about that. And the other apartment will look like shit on the outside, but ain't nobody gonna see that in these videos. But the inside is really nice, and the kitchen is quite nice, because I think all their appliances are new because it just recently got renovated. So yeah, new appliances. Hopefully I don't gunk it up too much. And yeah, Yeah, I don't know how my cats will like it because the floor is like vinyl, but it's like faux wood vinyl, so it's interesting, to say the least. And there's no carpet. Did I say that already? There's no carpet, so noise pollution is like 1000%. And I think my cats will be cold, because there's no carpets. So I either gotta knit shit so they can have something to like lay on and not be cold, I guess, or weave stuff, or like weave mats or something for them, so they're not cold. And of course, out of wool, probably out of my scraps, because, you know, why not? And yeah, I don't want my cats to be cold. So yeah, and it's gonna be the first apartment that we don't have carpet in, so that will be interesting. Let's see, and about that apartment, it's also in a small town, so I probably can't say the name of the town. And then when I move everything out of this apartment, I can tell you which city I used to live in, or which town I used to live in, because the Bay Area has so many of these small towns that are off like bigger cities, or like right next to bigger cities. For every like big city, there's like towns all around it. So like for San Jose, there's like Sunnyvale, Cupertino, Santa Clara, like Blossom Hill, Morgan Hill. Well, that's like down south, and Gilroy is also down south. And there's like Milpitas, Fremont. Again, I think there's so many of the small towns that I don't even know because there's no reason to go there. And oh yeah, and then there's like Saratoga, which is next to Cupertino, and yeah, and there's like so many small cities in the hills, Los Gatos, you know, and then next to Sunnyvale, you also have Palo Alto, and like Stanford. Stanford is such a small town though. Like, does that count as a town? Is it part of Palo Alto? Like, I don't know these things. And then like, yeah, there's just so many small towns off of a big city. Yeah, and then Oakland and Berkeley, you know, those have plenty of small towns around it. And yeah. But I feel like there's more small towns on the peninsula, and there's no like big city on the peninsula. Oh, did I say we're moving up the peninsula? Yeah. So still in San Francisco Bay Area, so I don't have to change like any of my San Francisco Bay Area tags or whatever. Not that I would, because that's where I filmed. So yeah. This episode's pretty long. I'm probably gonna regret talking so much, but whatever. And it's gonna take us 3 weeks to move in because we have a very small car. And I don't know how we're gonna transport some of these things because we had someone else help out. Like this couch, there's no way we could transport this couch by ourselves. Wait, did we do it by ourselves? I don't think so. But I'm like, how did this couch even come in? Because we have to disassemble it and then assemble it again. So, yeah. It's such... I don't know how to do it. I'm just gonna say that straight up. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend, a good day, good evening, whenever you're watching. And yeah, I'm keep knitting, probably start the Sycamore sweater, because why not? While I procrastinate on the sporty knit skort, obviously, like, duh. Even though I shouldn't, but I have so much time, so why not? And I should be packing, but fuck it, I'm not doing that. So yeah, Sycamore sweater. That's what I'm gonna do today. And I hope you guys cast on something new, because I have so many projects lined up and I want to cast them all, but I can't cast them all at once. I was gonna have a cast on party yesterday, but I just casted on the Ingrid sweater and then I just knit that instead. Okay, see you guys. Bye.